There's one very large pilot customer, E2M in Germany, and a whole bunch of other enterprise customers that you haven't announced. But
Yes.
Can you characterize the kind of people that are early customers and why they're interested and what we're learning?
So I think from the reason why we can't announce is we're under very, these companies are multinational organizations, multi-billion-dollar companies that have, oil and gas and electricity and industrial processes, and there are levels of sensitivity with discussing them before the pilots are all finished and completed. But they're looking at the same things we're talking about. They're looking at energy. They're looking at data provenance. They're looking at proving records without having to lean on someone else's assessment of those records, right? They're looking at how renewable are they? How much green energy they're purchasing? How sustainable are their business models? How are they competing with their peers? And also at the same time, they're looking at blockchain and saying, wow, we don't want to not have a blockchain strategy. And the provenance and supply chain and accounting for energy is the easiest one for them to wrap their heads around, right? Some of the harder ones around labor and identity and some of these other things that are a bit more abstract, or currencies and whatever else, but the accounting for energy is the easiest one, and it's the obvious one.
And what's kind of fascinating about we go back to the beginning of this conversation. We started this in the middle of this big miasma of blockchain hype a year ago, in which one had to solve every problem all at once. Of course, many startups see everything they can do, and then they figure out what to actually do when they launch and focus. But what's interesting here is at its most basic, you have large enterprises that want to account for energy with proof, with provenance, and also to be able to act on that without belaying security or privacy issues.